Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm Paul and I have brain cancer, and today I'm going to be doing my first cross country since being diagnosed last December. It's the first cross country of the season and it's going to be at Thornley Hall Farm. It's probably one of the hardest cross countries on the calendar these days, in my opinion. So I've got two lots of shoes with us. I have the Innovate mud clothes, very grippy. Very chunky, very big treads on the bottom. Great when it's really muddy, and with this race being on a farm. Normally the go-to pick, but because it's September, we're early in the year, it might not be so muddy, so I'll be taking them with us just in case. I've also got the Saucony Endorphin Trail, which are really good. The grips aren't as bad on these. These are better for, like wet grass, and when it's not so muddy. Obviously the mud clothes are the go-to when it's really bad. In the Endorphin Trails, but we'll see what's like when we get there. We'll see what the footing's like. Obviously this race is earlier in the year, and the reason why it's earlier in the year is because the weather is so unpredictable, and yeah, parking's normally an absolute nightmare. Kind of get the cars out of the fields with it being a farm, or just park on a field. Normally have to get a tractor in to tow people out when it's really bad, so I think they've moved it earlier in the year, and that's the idea with that. As I said, this is the first cross country of the season, the first one for me since before surgery last year, and it's a great opportunity to get my club vest on and compete with the club for the first time in a long while. So that's going to be really nice. A bit anxious, but I'm just going to take it easy for the first lap, because the men have to do 3 laps. Take it easy for the first lap, see how we get on, and then try and pick it up and push on from there. My last few races in this on this course have been anywhere from 43 minutes to 50, and then there was one in the middle there about 46 minutes. So again that's just to do with how bad the footing is. For some reason the mud at this event is really sticky, and you get 2 or 3 inches stuck on your foot, but there was a year where it was really dry, and that's the one I ran 43 minutes. So it really depends on the footing and how bad the weather's been. It's actually been quite okay here. It hasn't rained for a good few days, so it might not be too bad, but like I say, we'll see when we get there. I'll take both pairs of shoes just in case. I don't tend to wear spikes across country, and you'll probably see why at the end if I film my carbs. I kick myself a lot, especially with it being uneven and trying to balance, so I tend not to wear spikes because of that. But yeah, I don't have a pair of spikes, so I just wear trail shoes, and they're normally quite good. I've never had any problems with them. Obviously you'll see the faster boys wearing spikes, but yeah, they're obviously a lot lighter than me, and a lot lighter on their feet and quicker, so they don't sink into the mud as bad. I have actually been given permission to film this race, although I did initially think that I wouldn't be allowed to. I emailed the Harrier League, which is obviously the league that runs that I'm running in, and a lady got back to me called Vicky Thompson. She got back to me and said that it would be okay. She was going to bring it up with the committee to see if there was any objections, but if anyone from if there were any race referees today that said anything to us, to just tell them that she'd said that it was okay for today, and then she was going to raise it with the committee. So we'll see how I get on. Hopefully I don't get any bother, but I'll try and film. Yeah, we'll just see how we get on. Obviously I don't want to get myself or my club in any issues. I'm pretty sure you can get disqualified and fined and stuff, but I've had the go ahead from her, so we'll see how we get on with that. Right, well, some of you might recognise this place. It's the Poly Clubhouse in the track. Just here waiting for me lift, waiting for my coach to come pick us up. He's giving us a lift into cross country. He said he's going to run with us today actually for a little bit, but I don't believe him, because he never ever runs slow. He says he must be the most common person I know that tells us he's going to run slow and then goes out like an absolute bat, just flying. Yeah, nice day actually. I haven't wore as many layers. Hopefully the rain stays away. I think earlier in the week it said it was going to rain at about 2 o'clock, but now it looks like it's going to be about 6 or 8, I think, last time I checked the app, for Durham. So it's a good 40-minute drive to get down there. Hopefully the rain stays away, and it's quite nice, because it's quite nice underfoot. I might get away with just the endorphins today rather than wearing the mud clothes, which would be quite nice at Thornley Hall. Although we do go last, the senior men and veteran men, so you've got all the kids races and the women's races in before us, so they'll smash up all the ground and make it worse. But yeah, we'll see what happens when we get down there. So we quickly found out when we got to cross country that the footing was going to be really good. As you can see, it's nice and dry underfoot. There's not a lot of mud, so I wore my endorphins. They were really good. Didn't have any problems anywhere. Yeah, I think the good weather we've had recently was really good, and the people that were running on before us hadn't tuned it up so much because obviously, like I said, it was still dry. So it was really, really nice. It's really good for me that there wasn't a lot of mud because I haven't done a lot of strength training. I haven't done a lot of hills or anything like that. Obviously, I've been trying to keep myself low profile just to give my head a rest and build into running slowly. Obviously, cross country is a big hit to the system, but I was trying to just recently I've just been trying to get to the Great North Run, get some distance in my legs, but I didn't feel like I had a lot of strength, so I'm quite happy there wasn't a lot of mud. The men's race was actually delayed by quite a bit because they've changed the course this year. I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, they changed the course, so I think it was like a kilometre longer. It wasn't the nicest of changes, as you'll see later on. There's some out and backs in the same field, about 5 of them, and obviously men were doing it 3 times, so we're doing like 15 out and backs on a grass field. Not the most scenic of cross country stuff I've ever done, but you know, it was quicker. But we were delayed because obviously they underestimated how long it would take people to do it, with it being longer. And they don't like the men going when there's still quite a few women on the course, and I think that was the case because we did overtake a few on the first lap. So yeah, we were delayed, and also we had a minute silence for a fella at, I believe, at Time Bridge. Had passed away on the Thursday, unfortunately. So yeah, not the great, but we had a minute silence for him, and everyone was very respectful, and that was really nice. So, you know, thoughts to his friends and family and his club mates. I imagine that's not very good. I managed to film about a lap and a half of this. As you can see, this is the first hill we're going up. I managed to film a lap and a half before my camera went out. I was having, going up the hills, I was actually having quite a bit of anxiety, like with my heart rate getting quite high and my legs getting a bit sore. I didn't want to have any problems with I've not actually managed to push myself and get my heart rate really elevated in any training that I've been doing. It's mostly been long distance stuff and quite slow. Even at the club, I haven't really pushed myself, so I was getting a little bit of anxiety pushing up the hills because I could feel my body, my heart rate rising, and it's just been so long since I've had to push my body through that, and I think I just need to get used to the pain and, you know, just get used to it again and train myself to hurt and to be okay with hurting. Because obviously previously I never had any fears that anything would go wrong when I was pushing. I was just running hard and just hoping to get better. Whereas now obviously I've got to think about worst case scenarios and me collapsing and having a seizure or what have you in the middle of a cross country run. And it's, you know, it's whether the people that get to us quick enough will understand my situation. I did write it on the back of my bib. You can write your medical conditions, but it's, will they get there quick enough? Will they be able to give me what I need? And yeah, will I get the help and support that I need if out there and anything does go wrong? And obviously that was playing on my mind when I was running up the hills and really pushing my body to its limit, or the limits I've hit. These were the highest limits I've hit so far after training, and I just need to get used to that. I just need to get out there, keep running hard. I've moved up at the club. I moved up groups at the club now, so I should be pushing a bit harder. And it's just training my brain, my body, and just that anxiety will hopefully disappear the more I do it and the more I get used to it again. I didn't walk any of the cross country, which I was really proud of. I told myself quite a lot, especially on the second and third laps when other people were walking these little hills. I just wasn't going to walk at all, and I didn't. I managed to run it all. Obviously, I get to the top of the hill on the second and third laps, and my legs were like absolute jelly. But I knew if I just kept going, kept pace, that they would come back to us, and you know, after a couple of 100 meters, they did. My legs sorted themselves out, and I was managed to push. I was trying to take it as easy as I could on the hills, to be honest. That first lap, I'd planned to go out really slow, and I stuck to that plan, and it worked really well actually, because I kind of built into the race. I managed to go a lot quicker on the second and third laps, and on the flats and on the downhills, I was overtaking people. I was really managing to push, although I was still holding back a little bit because I didn't want to conk out over 10k and have anything go wrong. So I was still holding myself back, but I was managing to let the legs go a little bit more. And obviously, you know, the more races I get in is, the more cross countries I get this year, the better and easier that'll become, because it'll just become normal again, hopefully. I finished 334th out of 416 people, and obviously cross country is very competitive, so I'm quite happy about that, to be honest. It was 54 minutes and 34 seconds was my race time. So yeah, I'm happy with what I did. It's good training, it's good strength, getting it in my legs, and again, it's getting used to hurting again. So just feeling what it feels like, and hopefully the next races it'll be better for it. I do have a 5k handicap race. It's just over 5k on Tuesday, so even that, like the short and sharp races, being able to push myself a bit more, I'll get more used to it, and we'll see how we get on. But hopefully that'll be all right. That is a nighttime race though, so I'm not sure how the camera will record that, but I'll be trying my best. Yeah, we'll just see how we get on. Right, and that's that, guys. First cross country of the season. Unfortunately, this is about where my battery ran out, so I didn't get any more footage after this. As I say, first one of the season, but there's many more to go. Hopefully in December I'll get my license back for driving, so hopefully I'll be able to make it to all of them past then, and I'll just try and get lifts to the ones before that. And like I say, hopefully I can train my brain and my body to get used to the pain again, and hopefully not get any anxiety going up the hills, and I might be able to try a bit harder. But until then, stay safe. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe to help the algorithm, and hopefully we can help out some more people that are in my situation watching. Thanks very much. Stay safe.